Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenge of Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So, today we're talking about the true meaning of a retrograde planet. So, if you like my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me and the channel. And to be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. If you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those are in the description box in the comments below. Alright, so the reason we're doing this video is a lot of you have been asking about retrograde planets when I've been talking about planets through houses. So, this is pretty important. So let's talk about what a retrograde means first. When a planet's retrograde, you are going to be confused about the things that planet represents. So, for instance, if that planet rules your second house, you're going to be confused about your money, how to save money, how to make money. And then you got to look at what planet is it. If it's Mercury, you're going to be confused about how to study, how to gain more knowledge, how to do business. You're going to have to struggle with that planet initially, and then you overcome the struggle because you've learned so much. So that's what it means when a planet is retrograde. But now, how do we look at this through a chart? Well, we're going to get into that. So first off, one of the things you look at is a retrograde planet is going to behave like it's in its original position until you turn 31. 31 onwards, it will act like it's in the previous house. So we're going to look at a birth chart and talk about some examples with it. All right. Okay, so here we have our Prashna chart. I just said it for in the future when we're going to have a retrograde. So Saturn's going to be retrograde here coming up soon. Now let's say this is a birth chart. Let's say you have Saturn retrograde in the 11th house. So your Saturn is going to behave like it's in the 11th house until you turn 31. Then it will act like it's in the previous house, going backwards. So initially, it'll behave like it's here in the 11th house in Aquarius. Now, so far in my testing, it still behaves like it's still in the same sign in Nakshatra, even in later life. But the house placement behaves different. Now, for yogas, for instance, I would take the yogas from where it initially is in your birth chart. So you would take yogas. In this case, it's not creating any yogas right off the bat for me. But Saturn in the 11th house is one you would pay attention to. Well, I guess that's a Dana yoga, but still. Yeah, Dana yoga. Anyways. So, this Saturn in the 11th house. Saturn represents your career. So, your career would be tied to the 11th house until you turn 31. So, early in your career, you might work with friends, work with an elder sibling, a paternal uncle, or aunt. 11th house is large organizations. So, you could work in places like this, just as an example. And then, when you reach 31, Saturn will behave like it's in the 10th house. So now, career, status, government become more important. You're going to achieve something, achieve status through hard work. You could start working in government as you get older with a Saturn retrograde like this. But it would only come after 31. So let's look at another position. Let's say, let's see here. All right. So let's say this person's a Cancer ascendant. Now they have Saturn in the 8th house, retrograde. So, Saturn in the 8th house, that's a difficult placement for career. It shows you're going to have sudden ups and downs in your career. But, because it's retrograde, this is only going to last until a person turns 31. After 31, it will move into the 7th house. And then a person could do business. Especially because it's being looked at by Mercury when it retrogrades. It's making new combinations, receiving new aspects. Now, let's look at another example. Let's see. Alright. Let's look at it from a Libra ascendant here. This is going to be the same no matter what ascendant you are. But I just want to show you all different placements of a planet retrograde and just give examples of what that means. So, Saturn retrograde in the 5th house. It's going to behave like it's in the 5th house until you turn 31. So early in life, this person, their career could be sports related. Their career could be tied to creativity, art. They could work with children. But after 31 onwards, it'll be tied to the 4th house. Person could work in land, real estate, with vehicles. They could work from home. Alright, so now let's look at this as though it's a transit. Okay, so we'll just pick a different ascendant. Let's go with Scorpio. Alright. So, let's say this is a transit. We're no longer looking at it like it's a birth chart. Alright. Let's say you're a Scorpio, moon ascendant, or sun sign. Saturn's transiting the 4th house. But it started retrograding. What's that going to mean? Well, instead of reading it like Saturn's in the 4th house, you're going to read it like Saturn's in the 3rd house. And you're going to read its aspects like it's aspecting from the 3rd house. That's how a retrograde planet behaves in transit. So, I'll give another example here. Let's go Virgo. Alright, so from Virgo, ascendant, moon, or sun sign, with a retrograde planet in transit, Saturn in the 6th. Saturn will retrograde, so it's acting like it's in the 5th house. Meaning, Saturn would aspect the 7th house, the 11th house, and the 2nd house. That's the way Saturn's going to behave here. If this person's a Gemini ascendant, or here, they're a Gemini sun. There we go. Alright, Saturn's going to behave like it's in Capricorn. Or in the house previous to Saturn. From there, it would aspect the 10th house. It would aspect the 2nd house. And it would aspect the 5th house. Okay. But yeah, so that's how we look at a retrograde planet. It doesn't matter if it's Saturn or any other planet. Of course, other planets won't have the same aspects as Saturn. But in the birth chart, you're going to read the planet like it's in its original house until you reach 31. And then it will behave like it's in the previous house. So from the 1st, it will behave like it's in the 12th. From the 12th, it would behave like it's in the 11th. After the age of 31. Because after a person's matured, now they realize they need to go on to do something else. That's the way this works. First, they have to learn lessons tied to where Saturn's initially placed or whatever planet's retrograde. Doesn't matter what planet it is. Alright. But that's what I wanted to show you all today. Hopefully you have a better understanding of how retrograde planets work in your birth chart and in transit. And yeah. So, if y'all have liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me and the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.